Most people think that the world is a normal place, but there are a small number of people that can see through things and find out that demons exist. At school, a schoolboy asks a schoolgirl if she believes in ghosts, and she tries to say something, and the schoolboy asks if her shoulders feel heavy lately, and she asks how he knew. The schoolboy introduces himself as Shouta and says that he is an expert in eliminating spirits and says that something is haunting her right now. The schoolgirl is surprised and gets scared and says that he is lying, but Shouta moves closer to her while laughing like a weird old man and says that the problem is on her shoulder. The schoolgirl is surprised and moves back, and a demon cat is sitting on her shoulder and getting angry at Shouta. Shouta grabs the demon cat and says that it is very energetic, but the schoolgirl cannot see what he is holding and thinks that he is a crazy guy. Shouta throws away the cat and says that he finished eliminating the ghost and tells her that to stop her from being haunted again, she should give him her number, which surprises the schoolgirl. Suddenly, someone pinches Shouta's ear and asks when he became an expert in eliminating spirits and calls him a great exorcist in a funny way, and he shouts in pain. The girl who pinched him was wondering where he went and saw that he was trying to go out with someone, and Shouta asks why it matters because it is easier to understand if he says that it is a spirit and normal people do not even know what a demon is. The schoolgirl calls the girl President Koga, and Koga says that Shouta must have been annoying and pats him on the head like a little kid, and Shouta shouts that he was not being annoying and was just eliminating a demon. Koga drags Shouta and tells him to follow her because she has a task for him, and Shouta shouts at the schoolgirl and asks her to give him her phone number at least. The schoolgirl wonders what they are going to do and notices that her shoulder feels lighter now. In the school's old storeroom, Koga says that she heard rumors that something is in here, and Shouta says that it is annoying. He asks if she can stop calling him for this kind of stuff every single time, and Koga says that she can and that it makes no difference to her, but then she will not be able to ignore his bad records, which would probably be enough to expel him if they add everything up, so Shouta does have to do what she says now. Koga says that he is not wearing a tie and his uniform is messy, which is another bad thing to add to his record, and writes it down on her notepad, and Shouta tells her to stop and will do what she wants. Shouta looks around the room and tells someone that they can stop now because their disguise will not work on him, but no one says anything. Shouta gets angry and punches a bag on the table and shouts that their disguises will not work on him, and two monsters come out and look hurt. One of them says no to violence and the other shouts in pain. Shouta asks why they came to the human area and to go back to the mountains, and one of them says that they had no choice because someone scary came to the mountains and they were chased out. Shouta says that it must have been tough, but then shouts and asks why cares about that and that they are causing problems here and kicks them out of the room. One of them says that he is mean, and Koga says that they will return no matter how many times he chases them away, and Shouta is surprised that she heard what they were saying, and she says that she only heard a little bit. Koga says that she has a plan and asks Shouta to go and solve the source of the problem because he is an exorcist anyways, and Shouta says no. He says that they agree that he will only solve problems at school and the mountains have nothing to do with him and that it is too annoying. Koga says that if he will not do it, then she can ask another exorcist to solve the issue, and Shouta turns around and Koga says that she will ask his grandfather. She says that she would feel bad if she had to invite him from the southern area just for this small issue, and Shouta shouts at her and says that his peaceful days will be gone if he comes here and that it took a lot of effort to make him leave last time. Koga says that she has no choice because the issue must be solved fast, but the exorcist present right now does not want to help, and she smiles at Shouta and he calls her a demon. At the forest, Shouta calls Koga a bad name and that she keeps annoying him, and even though she has a nice body, he is bad at dealing with her, and she was not always like that. He arrives at an area in the forest which is destroyed and wonders what happened here and hopes that it is not an annoying opponent, and shouts out at someone to come out so he can deal with it quickly because he wants to go home fast. What a lazy exorcist. Suddenly, a girl comes out with demon horns and a tail and asks if he is the one who is disturbing her territory. Shouta notices that she is wearing a school uniform from his school, but does not remember seeing her before, and he says that she is smaller than he imagined, but compared to the small demons, she is bigger, and the demon gets angry at him and jumps towards him and tells him not to look down on her. She punches the area Shouta was standing on and destroys it, and he asks her why she has so much strength even though she looks like a small woman. Shouta says that he will not survive if he does not deal with her properly and takes out a talisman from his pocket. He says that it has been a while since he used them and puts them on his arms and uses an exorcism skill. His arms turn into stone and he gets stone armor and runs straight at the demon. The demon jumps up and Shouta tells her not to run away and grabs her tail, but the demon kicks him in the stomach. It does nothing though because his chest also has the stone armor, which surprised her, and the demon thought that he was fast but figured out that he prepared it way before. Shouta says that it hurts a lot even with the armor, and the demon thinks he is weak but still smart and runs straight at him again. Shouta hardens his stone armor to defend himself, but the demon destroys his armor, and Shouta says that this is impossible. His talisman rips into pieces, and the demon says that this is the difference in their strength and runs straight at him again to end the battle, but the necklace on Shouta's neck starts to glow and flashes a bright light. The demon thought that it was a trick by him, and Shouta wonders what it is, and suddenly, something wraps the demon and traps her. Shouta remembers something in the past where his grandfather told him that the necklace has the will of their exorcist ancestors and that he will need to use its powers someday. Shouta never thought that the necklace would be something good, and the demon shouts at him to let her go. Shouta wonders if it is some kind of seal and uses the necklace's power, which summons more string to trap the demon. Shouta says that he will seal her up, and the demon shouts at him and that she will never forgive him. He uses a strong ability to seal the demon, and the necklace goes back to normal, but then the demon tells him to stop as if nothing happened at all. Shouta shouts and asks why she is still here and that she should have been sealed, and if his grandfather lied to him. The demon says that she was shocked, but it was all a trick, and Shouta says that he was the one who got tricked. The demon tells him to be quiet and gets ready to attack again, and Shouta tells her to wait, but a small dragon shows up in between them and says that Shouta is a proper exorcist now, which surprises them both. The dragon says that it has been a while, but he does not remember who the dragon is, and the dragon asks if he forgot about him, but he was still a kid back then, so maybe that is why. The dragon says that the contract is complete, so they should get along now, and the demon and Shouta shouts in surprise. The demon asks what the dragon meant by that and what the contract was, and the dragon explains about the contract. The dragon says that it is a tradition for an exorcist to be contracted with a demon so they can protect the land together, and the demon will be loyal to the exorcist while the exorcist's life will be given to the demon. The demon shouts at the dragon, and Shouta asks if it is serious, and suddenly, another demon appears. The demon is a dragon, and Shouta says that it looks very evil and wonders if it is the cause of the problem in the forest. The demon dragon jumps at them, and they easily dodge, but then Shouta gets hit by its arm. The demon girl shouts at Shouta and says that he is weak, and asks what kind of exorcist he is, and Shouta says that someone destroyed his talismans. The demon girl punches the demon dragon, but it does nothing, and it tries to bite the demon girl, but she dodges it and wonders why she does not have any strength. The dragon says that they cannot fight by themselves because of the contract, and that they can use their full strength by working together, but the demon girl shouts at it and asks what kind of bad contract is that and to cancel it immediately. The dragon is confused and asks if they have not already talked before making the contract, and the demon girl says that she was just beating him up a while ago. The demon dragon gets up, and the demon girl turns to Shouta and says that his life is hers now, so she will just eat him up. Shouta asks if she really still wants to eliminate him, and she says that he should have just passed away when she defeated him. The demon girl says that the contract will be gone if he is gone, and Shouta shouts at her not to come towards him. The demon girl tries to do something, but she cannot touch him, and the dragon says that because of the contract, the exorcist's commands are absolute, and the demon girl shouts that she did not want this. The demon dragon starts to come towards them again, and the demon girl runs towards it to try and save them and blocks its hand. She notices that her strength is coming back and flips the demon dragon. She asks what is going on, and the dragon says that as long as she fights with her exorcist, her powers will be increased, and Shouta says that he will just order her to eliminate the demon, and the demon girl gets angry and says that he is smug even though he is so weak. Shouta says that she should not argue with him right now and that they can win if she listens to him, but the demon girl says no and that she does not want to obey him. The demon dragon gets back up and attacks them with a laser, and the dragon says that they cannot argue right now and they will both pass away. Shouta says that he cannot pass away here and begs the demon girl to pretend that it is for her own self-interest, and to follow his orders to defeat the demon and that they can win with her strength. He begs her on his knees, and the demon girl is surprised and asks what he is doing. The demon dragon starts to attack them again, but she easily dodges and agrees with Shouta. She kicks the demon dragon and says that she wanted to teach it a lesson. The demon dragon lands on some rocks, and the demon girl says that it caused a disturbance in her territory and even attacked her. She eliminates the demon dragon and it disappears from the area. Shouta thinks that it is over now, but the demon girl kicks him in the back and asks about the contract. Shouta talks to the dragon and says that both of them do not want the contract and asks if they can remove it, and the dragon says that it is his first time as well, so he does not know how to help them. They both get upset, and Shouta thinks a little and says that if she has to follow his commands, she has to do it. The demon girl gets angry and tells him not to do anything weird, but Shouta tells her to put her skirt up, like a typical teenager boy, and the demon girl calls him trash. Her hands start to shake, and she says that she would rather be eliminated than put her skirt up, and she suddenly passes out. Shouta wonders what happened, and the dragon says that she managed to go against his orders. Shouta says that she has to follow what he says, and the dragon says that it must be because she is stronger than him, so she can go against it. The dragon tells him to behave properly, and Shouta says that he is just a young boy as well, and the dragon says that if he keeps making her hate him like this, he will not be able to stop her from eliminating him when she gets enough strength, which scares him. The dragon says that now that his life belongs to her, if she passes away, he will also pass away, and Shouta is surprised and wonders how that is possible. He tells Shouta that he should be by her side at all times so she has full strength, and Shouta asks if he will always have to be with her and is angry and sad about that. The demon girl, Rin, is somewhere, and someone says congratulations to her. She says that after all her hard work, she earned the qualification to become a deity, and Rin becomes happy. She says that no one will look down on her again, but then a chain appears around her neck, which surprises her, and she asks what this is. The person says that she is contracted with another person, and that she cannot become a deity if Rin is contracted with a human. Rin says that it was an accident, and the person says that she has to give up. Rin tries to explain, but the person says goodbye, and Rin wakes up from her sleep shouting for Leichea. She woke up in the infirmary at school and thinks that it was just a dream, but she says that it is not the time to be relaxed, and it will be horrible if that really happened. She put a lot of effort into this and cannot let a bad contract stand in her way, and in order for Rin to become a deity, she has to eat the exorcist. Koga says that she understands what happened now while reading a report, and says that Rin and Shouta were searching for the culprit in the mountain and misunderstood each other as the enemy. When Shouta were in danger, he used a contracting stone to seal Rin and managed to escape, but now they are stuck together in the contract. Koga says that she knew he was lazy, but he did not even know what the necklace his grandfather gave him does. She says that she never expected him to report to him truthfully, and Shouta says that there is no way he could hide this from her. Koga says that she has been observing Rin for a while now and says that she is relaxed and has average grades. Rin studies at their school, but does not leave any impression in anyone's mind, and no one could even remember her face, which makes Koga suspicious. She thinks that Rin does not want anyone to know about her, and Shouta wonders if that is what she really looks like to other students, even though she was completely different in the forest. He asks why he did not notice her and should have been able to see through her disguise, and Koba says that it is because he is too weak and just using a high-level disguise is enough to fool him. The dragon says that it might be mean, but it is true. Even the dragon can't do anything about how weak and useless he is. Shouta says that if that is true, then there might be other demons around the school that he has not noticed, and Koba gets angry and says that he is the exorcist. Suddenly, Rin enters the room from the window, and Koba is surprised she jumped to the third floor. Rin says that she will eat Shouta, and he asks why she is doing something bad right after waking up. She says that this is all his fault and she cannot become a deity because she is bound by his contract. He says that it was an emergency, but she does not care and wants to eat him right now. He tries to force her to stop, but it does not work. Guess all he can do is leave this world. Koga says that she can eat him up if she can, which surprises them both. She explains that she can do whatever she wants to Shouta before the class period ends, but she cannot cause damage in school or else she will get into trouble, and Shouta cannot command her within the time period. Shouta becomes angry and says that he can only run away then, and Koga says that it would be Rin's loss if she cannot finish Shouta off within the time limit, and if that happens, she will have to accept that the contract is valid and help Shouta out with stuff from now on. Rin asks if she thinks she would lose, and Koga says that she needs skills to eat Shouta, and instead of arguing, they might as well fight. Rin agrees, and Shouta asks Koga if she has any trick to help him out, but Koga says that his victory depends on him and that it just means Rin is stronger than him if he loses, so it would be a good thing to allow her to get her full strength by removing him, and that she can just ask her for help the next time a demon shows up. Even his close friend gave up on him. Shouta calls her a demon, and Rin says that she never caused a disturbance in school, even though she has been here for a long time, and no one will notice what she is doing as long as her disguise is on, so she will win the contest. She runs after Shouta, and Koga says that she saw her clearly when she entered through the window. She asks the dragon if it can look after them and is surprised that it has to work too. Rin is trying to find Shouta and wondering where he is hiding. She gets on the ground and tries to smell him, and a schoolgirl asks her what she is doing. Rin is surprised that she is talking to her and makes an excuse while hiding her horns. The schoolgirl leaves, and Rin wonders how she was seen, but her horns were not, and thinks that the decrease in power must have reduced the effectiveness of her disguise. She sees Shouta in the school building, and he quickly tries to hide, and she gets on top of the fence to jump over to him, but she just falls down on the ground because there are people around her. Shouta sees this and thinks that she is trying to avoid getting attention from people, and that is what Koga meant by not causing a disturbance. He figured out that Rin cannot do anything if he goes somewhere crowded, then, even if he is weak, I guess he still has a brain. Rin finds him behind the school building, and Shouta quickly hides, and when Rin reaches him, another student comes out. She tries to catch him, but she cannot do anything because there are people everywhere. The dragon says that it is a serious contest, but there is no tension at all, and Shouta tells Rin to give up and that she cannot catch him as long as there are people in the school. Rin thinks that if she had her full power, she would have eaten him in one strike. Shouta makes fun of her and wonders where he should go next, and decides to go to the gym because the basketball club is there right now practicing. There should be a lot of people there, and she cannot run across the county, so she cannot do anything to him there. He runs to the gym, but when he enters it, he notices that no one is there. Rin enters the building and reads the note on the door, which says that the basketball club is canceled today to celebrate their win in the tournament, so he can't read either. Must not be that smart, I guess. Rin tells him to keep running while getting ready to attack him, and Shouta tries to make an excuse, but she comes up behind him and hits him hard. Shouta blocks it, and Rin says that she will not give him any chances. He only has a few minutes to go and needs to hang in there for a while longer while Rin keeps attacking him. She attacks him again, and Shouta blocks it and hits her back, which she blocks and hits him in the face. She thinks that even if she is weak, she is still stronger than him and can finish him before it ends. She jumps up to attack again, and Shouta pushes her onto the ground. He says that she is careless and that he has some basic combat techniques and how she will catch him when he breaks her arm. He says that this is what she gets for underestimating him, but Rin fights back and hits him with her tail. She quickly goes up to him and says that she will eat him up, and suddenly, a bunch of students enter the gym. Rin and Shouta are confused why they are there, and they talk about how Rin said that she will eat Shouta up. It is the basketball club, and one of them says that they heard some noise coming from here and thought someone was doing something bad, but it was just two people confessing to each other. They say that Rin is a first-year student and was confessing her love to Shouta, and that she looks cute. Rin looks embarrassed and tries to deny it, and they tell her to kiss Shouta, but she runs away in embarrassment. The bell rings, and Shouta wins their fight, and Koga notices what happened and did not expect that it would end like this, but does not mind because she now has another person to order around. The basketball club leaves the gym and talks to a schoolgirl. They say that there were only two people confessing to each other and that they rushed from their party for nothing, and that she should have made sure first before coming to them. The schoolgirl smiles and turns into a demon and says that she hopes they will make it fun for her. Shouta is fighting a demon in a forest and eliminates it while looking happy because he won, but Rin defeated a bigger demon near him and tells Shouta that defeating a small enemy is not something to be proud of. Shouta looks surprised and asks why he has to take care of the demons in the mountain as well, because he was only responsible for the school's safety. Rin says that this is her territory and she has to manage it, and if it was not for the contract's power limit, she would have never brought someone like him with her. Rin gets angry and says that even though he did not know about the necklace's power, even if he is an exorcist, he still tried to seal her away, and Shouta says that it is not his fault because both of them misunderstood what happened and that she was the one who attacked him first, but Rin tells him to be quiet. The demon that Shouta was battling gets up again, which surprises Shouta, and Rin tries to save him, but another demon girl appears and eliminates the demon instantly. Rin noticed how fast the demon girl was, and she talks about how weak Shouta is and that the world is evil and will eat them if they are not careful enough. The demon girl introduces herself as Carrie from the Jackal tribe. Shouta is surprised that another demon appeared and that she saved him and thinks that she might not be an enemy, and also notices that she is wearing the same school uniform as the girls in his school. Carrie notices Shouta looking at her and winks at him, which confuses him. Rin comes over and asks what Carrie wants, and she says that she wants to pay her respect. Carrie says that the leadership changed, so it is natural that she gives her greetings, which confuses Shouta, and Rin says that it has not changed and that she is still in charge. Carrie says that she thought that the exorcist was her superior because she has to listen to his commands, and Rin gets angry at Shouta, and he asks how this is his fault. Carrie appears in front of Shouta and says that she is interested in him because no matter how they look at him, he is just a useless exorcist, but still ended up making a contract with a strong demon. Everyone knows how useless he is, but since he is the main character, they have to let him live. Rin asks if Carrie knows anything else about the contract, and she says that she does not, but she does know that the only way to bind a strong demon is through a stronger one. She explains that a contract like that is only possible for the highly skilled, but Shouta does not look like someone who is strong. She wonders if Shouta has a hidden secret and scares Shouta with her claws, and Rin says that she does not care about someone like him, and Carrie says that she will be in his care from now on. The dragon that showed up after making the contract is doing stuff for Koga. At this point, she is gonna make a demon army with all of them working for her. Shouta looks angry because now he has to deal with a horned girl with a lot of strength and a jackal, which makes his life harder. He becomes upset that he has to be involved with the demons and does not have any time left for normal stuff like talking to girls. Suddenly, Carrie shows up on top of him, which surprises Shouta, and he looks embarrassed. Carrie looks behind and says that he is weird for looking at her, and Shouta shouts that she did it on purpose. He tells her to be more careful and not to just jump down from the 3rd floor because he is the one who has to clean up her mess if she gets found out. Carrie says that no one will notice her and that she made something during her home economics class. She brings out a chocolate cookie, and Carrie says that she will give it to him if he guesses the topic of her cooking class today. He says that it should be baking cookies, but thinks a little and says that she would not have asked something so simple. He says that it is probably made from leftover ingredients, and if there is anything similar like that which needs flour and a baking oven, and figures out that Carrie was making puffs in her home economics class. Carrie asks if he is joking because it clearly looks like they were baking cookies, and eats it, and Shouta looks upset. She gives a bag of cookies to him anyway and says that because of his incorrect guess, he has to eat the rest of the cookies. Carrie leaves him, and he says that he got tricked and eats the cookies, but spits it out because they are all burnt. Rin and Koga are looking out the window towards Shouta, and Rin looks angry. Koga says that the jackal is good because she is making fun of Shouta, and Rin calls him useless. Koga asks her if she is getting jealous, and Rin says that she is not, and Koga asks if she will not do anything at all. Rin is confused, and Koga says that Carrie is trying to get together with Shouta, and if it goes on, he will be taken away and fall in love with her, and Rin shouts at Koga and says that she will not allow that. She says that he is already contracted with her and says that he is hers, and jumps off the balcony. Koga smiles and says that he is in good hands. Shouta sits down and eats more of the cookies, which are not too burnt, so Carrie must have done it on purpose. Rin comes to Shouta, and he says that it is not the time yet to go to the mountains. Rin takes the cookies from Shouta, and he asks what she is doing, and Rin says that she is throwing them away. Shouta says that Carrie gave them to him, and Rin says that he cannot eat them. He asks why it matters to her, and Rin gets angry and leaves with the cookies. He commands her to stop and return the cookies, and Rin stops but tries not to. He says that it is his and that he will eat them, and Rin throws the cookies in his face and calls him an idiot. Koga looks at this and laughs, and Kaji appears again and asks what they are doing while smiling. This surprises them both, and Shouta asks what she is doing here. She says that she returned because she remembered something and took the cookies from him. She says that eating the cookies is good, and he asks what she means by that. She says that one of the ingredients would have an effect on males, which surprises him, and suddenly his stomach starts to hurt. He asks what she did, and Carrie says that she is too late. Rin asks what she added, and Carrie says that it was just an ingredient that would affect a male's private area for a week after ingestion, and Rin and Shouta are surprised. Shouta asks what he should do, and Rin calls him an idiot for eating the cookies. Carrie says that she came here to ask if he wanted to cure it, and Shouta says that he really needs it. Carrie takes out a bottle with a liquid in it, but accidentally drops it, and Shouta screams. Carrie says that it looks like the cap has become loose, and Carrie says that the quantity should be fine, and it would be fine with her if he wants to lick the cure off her body. Shouta wonders if he should, and Rin shouts that he cannot. Shouta says that he needs it, and Rin calls him weird for thinking about her melons, and Shouta asks why she is making a big deal out of this. Rin says that no means no, and Shouta gets angry and says that she is not the one suffering here, so she cannot say anything, which confuses Rin. Carrie smiles, and Shouta says that it has nothing to do with her and why he has to ask for permission for everything. He says that Carrie is not as annoying as her, while Rin keeps talking over and over. No one ordered a yappuccino. Rin gets angry, and Carrie thinks that they did not disappoint her at all, and that she was targeting them from the beginning and only wanted to make them fight, and did not expect this to happen. She thinks to herself that the extra power that was restricted by the contract is inside the exorcist's body, and if she eats the exorcist, she can get all that power. Instead of fighting directly, she can just make Shouta and Rin fight and watch from the sides, while Shouta and Rin keep fighting. Rin hits Shouta lightly, and Carrie thinks that it is fun to see her prey attack each other. Rin says that she had enough, and that the only thing Shouta knows how to do is be a child, and that she is also in trouble. She calls him an idiot, and Shouta starts to say that he hates Rin, and Carrie thinks that she won, but Shouta falls down on the ground and starts to cough up blood. Rin and Carrie look surprised, and he wonders what is happening, and Rin asks what is wrong with him. Carrie says that her cookies did not do that, and Rin notices a scar on his hand. She asks if he got bit by the demon from before, and Shouta says that he did not think it was a big injury. Rin calls him an idiot, and Carrie says that he will pass away from the venom, and Rin says that she was careless because he is not familiar with the mountain demons, so he could not avoid this. She tells him to wait because she will get the cure, and Carrie looks surprised and asks her if she is joking. Shouta asks about the cure, and Carrie says that the cure grows on the bug king and is larger than an adult bug and also a lot stronger than normal. Shouta says that it might be a problem with her current strength, and Rin says that she does not need to beat it but just get the cure and run away. Shouta tells her to come back safely, and Rin asks what he is talking about randomly. Carrie thinks that Rin only just barely has more strength than her, but she cannot eat the exorcist right now, and tells Rin that she will help her as well. She says that she is capable of attacking some bugs and can help support her, and Rin tells her not to drag her down. Carrie gives them the cure for the cookie, which surprises Rin and Shouta that she had another bottle. Carrie says that she forgot that she had a spare, and Rin says that this is not the time to battle her even though she looks angry. Rin tells Shouta not to worry because she will go and get the cure, and Carrie and Rin both go to the mountains. Carrie says that the demon nest is close by and the bug king is definitely there. She looks behind her and tells Rin to stop making a lot of noise, and if she is trying to let the bug king know that they are coming, and Rin says that the demons already know they are coming. Carrie says that it would be bad if this alerted the adult bugs and they found out where they are, and Rin says that she took care of the small demons quickly. Carrie thinks that Rin is hopeless and does not know how to go around quietly, and that she is not the one doing a lot of work anyways, and Rin tells her to stop talking and keep going. Carrie says that even though she is helping Rin in order to eat the exorcist, she will not sacrifice her life and will not do anything reckless, and suddenly, a demon shows up behind her and attacks her. The demon looks around the area it hit and does not find Carrie anywhere, and she escapes. At the school, Shouta is trying to walk around and says that he did not notice that something bad was happening to his body, and someone asks if he wants a cure to help with the pain. Shouta asks if they have one, and when he turns around, he sees that it is Koga. She says that she does have one, and Shouta asks why she has a cure with her that only professional exorcists should have, and Koga says that he was the one who gave her one to drink in the past and that she bought more because it was good. Shouta drinks the cure and thanks Koga for it, and she asks him if he thinks that Rin is not a bad girl. She says that some of her power has been sealed by the contract, but she still risks her life to get the cure for him, and if she was really mean, she probably would have just left him. Shouta agrees, and Koga says that she will help take him to the infirmary and says that if he licked the cure off of Carrie, she would have looked down on him for the rest of her life. Shouta says that he would not have done that and why she is saying the same thing as Rin, and she asks if he really would not have done it. Of course he would have done it, he is a growing boy. At the mountain, Rin is battling the small demons and Carrie thinks that this is fun. She thinks to herself that Rin is moving forward without any issues and does not need her help at all, and that most of her power has been sealed by the contract but still has a lot of power left. Suddenly, a big demon shows up and Rin notices that it is the Bug King, and Carrie says that its size is bigger than she expected. She notices that the cure they need is at the highest place and she tries to give a warning to Rin, but she does not listen and runs straight at the demon. Carrie says to go and create an opening for her, but then wonders what will happen to the contract if she survives, but Rin does not and decides that she has to help Rin now. Rin notices that the Big King has been releasing miasma without stopping and still decides to jump on it for the cure and to leave right after getting it. The Bug King notices her coming to him and tries to bite her, but Rin dodges it and Carrie shows up from the sky. She tries to hit the Bug King, but it dodges, and she says that the Bug King is on guard and unusually cautious and that it will be annoying to beat it. The Bug King attacks them and they dodge it easily, and Rin asks why it feels like it is trying to chase them away, and Carrie agrees and notices that the miasma that it has been releasing is meant to keep away other people and demons from the area. She thinks that it might be sick and is weak right now, and Rin says that it feels like it is protecting something, and Carrie thinks that it is guarding its nest. She thinks of a plan and tells Rin that she will get the Bug King's attention, and when possible, she should go and get the cure. Carrie says that she made the plan of running away after getting the cure because she cannot beat the Bug King, so directly fighting would not be a good idea. Rin accepts and Carrie gets down and starts to distract the Bug King. She runs straight at the Bug King and makes fun of it and asks what it is guarding and if it is worth stealing. The Bug King gets angry and starts to go towards her, and she attacks it while running away. She keeps dodging its attacks and almost gets hit once. Rin sees this, and Carrie says that she is in a good position, but that it would not be fun if everything went too properly, and the Bug King attacks the area that Rin was in. Rin notices it and asks if it was on purpose, and Carrie smiles and thinks that she is smart. The Bug King attacks again, and Carrie could not see where it went, and then it attacks her from behind. Carrie dodges it and shows up on a rock, and Rin quickly gets the cure while it is distracted. Carrie and Rin run away from the location and get separated. Rin says that she never thought that they would get it so quickly and that Carrie is good but wonders where she went. At the cave, Carrie laughs and says that she is going to be rich and sees a huge egg that the Bug King was protecting. The Bug King is known for its big size and how violent it is, and in legends, it lays an egg every few hundred years. The Bug King's egg contains strong magical energies and also very good medicinal properties, so it can be sold for a lot in the black market. Carrie is in the cave where the Bug King's egg is and says that compared to the exorcist, the egg is worth a lot more. She thinks that she can sell the egg and live a very good life and have a lot of money to spend, and that she is more fit for a life in the human realm compared to the demon realm, and wants to show her gratitude to Rin. At the school, Rin gives Shouta the cure and he apologizes to her and says that he is the one at fault for starting a fight with her last time. He says that he was too selfish and only thought about himself and did not want to do anything with Rin because he thought she was too annoying, but even then, Rin helped him with getting the cure for him. He thanks Rin and she tells him not to misunderstand and turns around, but she starts to blush and says that she felt responsible for his injury and that it was not like she wanted to save him or anything like a true tsundere would say. Rin says that it is natural for someone as strong as her to protect a weakling like him, and he just laughs while biting on the cure that she bought. He spits it out because it is too bitter, and Kobe tells him to swallow it down like a man. Suddenly, the dragon shouts at the group and says that something bad is coming. He says that the Bug King is coming towards the school, which surprises them all, and Carrie is holding the Bug King's egg while running away from it. The Bug King tries to attack Carrie, but she easily dodges it and says that the Bug King is not very smart and is just too angry. She notices that she is close to the school and sees Rin, Shouta, and Koga coming towards her, and quickly hides inside a bush. Rin shouts at the Bug King not to come closer to them and tells it to go back to the mountain. The Bug King keeps coming closer though and attacks the rock that they are standing on, and Shouta screams like a woman. Rin gets angry and starts to attack the Bug King and shouts at it to stop. Shouta is surprised that she head-butted the Bug King and it lands on the ground. Rin says that she is not scared of it and tells it to leave right now, and Shouta asks if she cannot just finish eliminating it. Rin says that she cannot because it is the Bug King and that if they eliminate it, the whole nest will become angry. The Bug King gets back up, and Rin says that the whole area will be dangerous if that happens, and the Bug King starts to attack them again. They wonder why it will not leave, and the Bug King screams at them. Shouta is right in front of Rin, and she says that he is in the way and throws him away from the area because of how useless he really is. The Bug King and Rin keep battling each other while she dodges most of its attacks. She tells the Bug King to be quiet and attacks it again, but it does nothing. She asks why it is being so annoying and does not leave the area even though it keeps being attacked. At the school, the dragon asks if they should not go there as well to help them, and Koba says that they would just get in their way. Shouta lands on his head. Maybe that will make his brain cells work harder after Rin threw him away and lands beside Carrie, who is holding the Bug King's egg. Shouta notices Carrie, and she says that she wants to talk to him, but it looks like he is working on the Bug King and does not want to be a bother and tries to run away. Shouta tells her to wait and asks if she is carrying the egg of calamity and that he heard how valuable it is, but that it always comes with a huge price. Carrie says that he is too suspicious and that it is just a normal egg and that he should go back and help Rin, but Shouta figures it out and asks if the reason the Bug King would not leave is because the egg of calamity is the Bug King's egg. Maybe landing on his head did make him smarter for now. Rin and the Bug King are fighting each other, and Shouta figures out that Carrie has the egg of calamity, which is the Bug King's egg. He tells her to return the egg to the Bug King, but Carrie says that she needs the money from selling it. She says that her mother has a rare disease and does not have a lot of time left and needs a lot of money to treat her illness. She says that she is just a weak demon and that there is no other way she could get that much money fast, and Shouta feels a little sad. Carrie starts to cry like the fox that she is and asks if she can take the egg away. But Shouta says no and that they cannot let the whole area fall into chaos just for that reason, and that there has to be another way so that she does not have to steal the Bug King's egg. He tells her to return the egg and he will promise to help out with her issue, and with Koga's connections, they can find someone to treat her mother. Carrie looks a little confused and Shouta tells her to trust them this time, and Carrie sets down the egg. Shouta thinks that she is accepting his offer, but she suddenly attacks Shouta and says that he was her original target from the beginning. She attacks him with her claws, but it does nothing because he had his stone armor activated. Carrie looks angry. She says that he talked about trust, but he still had his guard up, and Shouta shouts that he was afraid this would happen and that he would have passed away if he did not block that. Carrie gets ready to attack again, and she says that she wants power and wealth, and Shouta gets ready to block her attack. He blocks her punches and kicks, and suddenly, she shows up behind him and says that he is too slow. Shouta quickly puts up an earth barrier to protect himself, but Carrie easily breaks through it and calls it a weak technique. She keeps attacking him and he tries to defend himself. Carrie notices that he is not attacking her at all and wonders if he is trying to buy some time, and quickly backs off and thinks that everything will go bad if Rin comes here. She tries to grab the egg of calamity, but Shouta uses his earth abilities to hold it in place and stop her from taking it. He says that he will not let her take the egg, and Carrie smiles and asks if he really wants to be eliminated. She jumps straight at him and punches him with her hands and sends him flying away. Shouta is shocked and hits a rock wall and takes a lot of damage, and Carrie says that the strike is not something his mud can block. She says that she is curious why he is bothering with such an annoying matter, and even if the bugs start attacking others, Rin would be the only one fighting them. She says that this has nothing to do with him, and Shouta agrees with what she said. He says that he is responsible for the school and does not want to bother himself with annoying stuff and could just let Rin handle everything, but he decided that he will do something this time and uses his exorcism skill. He surrounds himself with a steel barrier, and Carrie is surprised about the magical energy around him. She says that it does not belong to the idiot exorcist or Rin, and that it is a lot older. She starts to kick the steel barrier and asks why he is only defending again and where all that energy went, and that he is just waiting for his backup to arrive. She starts to run away and says that she cannot wait for him to come out, but the steel barrier starts to attack her and she quickly jumps back. She asks if he is trying to catch him with just that and kicks the steel barrier, which damages it, but it quickly heals back. She says that an idiot weakling is still an idiot in the end and that he does not know how to use his power and jumps up to use a big attack. She kicks the steel barrier, which tries to attack her again, and she says that it is too slow and starts to keep attacking the steel barrier, so it does not have any time to fix itself. She says that no matter how much magical energy he wastes, if he uses a powerful spell with weak skills, it would still be weak in the end. She kicks it one more time, which destroys the steel barrier, and she quickly tries to go into the steel barrier, but a stone hand pops out and attacks her. She grabs it and destroys it easily and sees Shouta smiling with his hand out, which surprises her. The steel barrier, which was destroyed, grabs her in the air and he tells her to try dodging this. Carrie falls down on the ground and says that he made her attack him from the air and lost to such a simple trick. She thinks to herself that she will let him win this round and that she will take the egg away when he lets his guard down, but suddenly, the egg of calamity starts to crack. A baby bug demon comes out of the egg, which surprises Carrie, and Rin notices something happening. The Bug King stops fighting her, and they both go to where Carrie and Shouta are, and Rin says that she will not forgive Carrie if she causes such a big trouble again. Carrie cries about losing all that money and asks if she can at least take the remaining eggshells, and Shouta says that it should be fine. She wonders if it was a coincidence or if it was his plan to release a lot of magical energy and cause the baby Bug King to quickly hatch because the extra energy was transferred into the egg. Knowing the main character, he is probably too stupid to figure that out himself. Shouta asks if something is wrong and if she is planning to do something bad again. Carrie smiles and asks if she is that mean, and Shouta asks if she thinks she did not cause enough trouble already. Carrie apologizes while smiling and asks if she can compensate him with some of the eggshells, and he shouts at her and asks why he would need that. Carrie runs up to him and kisses him on the cheek as an apology, which surprises him. Carrie laughs and says that he is more interesting than she expected and that it would be a waste if she ate him right now, so she will keep observing for now. She wants to see how Rin and Shouta will carry on from now on and give some advice to Rin. She asks if Rin really thinks that she can hide everything that has happened so far about the contract from the lady, which surprises Rin. Carrie says that she probably knows everything and is just waiting for Rin to tell her herself, and who knows how angry she would be from this. Shouta looks confused and Carrie just runs off quickly. Shouta asks Rin what Carrie meant by that, but notices that Rin looks scared and asks if something is wrong. Rin tells Shouta to hurry up and calls him slow in the head, and physically, what a combo. She says that there is no time to waste, and Shouta asks what is wrong with her because she made him go to the middle of nowhere. In front of them, there is a huge door which starts to open, and Shouta notices that it is a shrine. Rin says that he could not even see through her disguise, so how could he know that there would be a shrine here? Rin looks scared and says to Lady Chaya that she is back. A thunderbolt hits the ground, and a woman appears, which surprises Shouta. Rin tries to talk to Lady Chaya, but she tells her that she must not be rude and tells her that they do not usually have guests, so they have to treat Shouta properly. She introduces herself to Shouta as the goddess of this land. Shouta looks confused, and Lady Chaya laughs and says that this is the first time that she saw an exorcist that does not know that gods exist, and Rin shouts at him and says that this is common sense and calls me useless. Lady Chaya says that it is fine and starts to explain about gods. She says that humans and demons exist together in this land, and the gods act as a moderator to maintain order. She asks if Shouta ever wondered why huge demons usually never disturb humans, and says that it was thanks to Rin. Shouta looks surprised, and Rin gets angry and asks why he is so surprised. She explains that exorcists manage the human territory and gods manage the demon territory, and the reason why the mountain demons do not invade the cities is because Rin maintains order in the land for her. Shouta remembers when Rin kept bringing him to the mountain to eliminate the demons, and Lady Chaya says that they have a relationship with the exorcists that benefits them both. She says that besides maintaining peace of the land, sometimes the two sides have to join together to fight off outsiders, and Shouta asks what she means. Lady Chaya explains that the world is not as peaceful as it seems because the demon gods always try to take over the peaceful land. She says that a god's power comes from the faith of humanity, and a god that has lost the faith of its believers will fall and become a demon god. They turn into monsters and destroy everything and will lead a huge army of demons to invade other lands. Huge disasters are caused by the invasion of a demon god, but since normal humans cannot see them, it looks like a natural disaster, and many lives would be lost if that happens, so their duty is important. Lady Chia talks about the contract that Shouta and Rin have and says that it is going to be a big issue, which surprises them both. Shouta asks if she already knew, and she says that she is a goddess, so she knows almost everything that takes place in this land. Rin looks worried and tries to say something, but Lady Chia says that she understands but that they do not know much about the contract. She says that it is fine that Rin does not know about the contract, but it is something every exorcist should know, and Shouta tries to explain, and Rin says that she is tired of calling him useless. Lady Chia says that humans are weak compared to demons, so an exorcist can get power from a demon in exchange for their own life, which is the contract. She says that only a few exorcists still make contracts with demons today, but because it is more peaceful now than before, and they work together with local gods to protect the lands. She explains that since Rin is her representative, she should not have been affected by the contract, but it still happened, but she does not know the reason for it. She says that if a demon eats the exorcist, it can get back its power and also become even stronger. But if an exorcist is eaten by another demon, the contracted demon will lose its stored power forever. Shouta remembers when Carrie was saying that she wanted to eat him and figured out that she wanted the stored power in him. If it was a normal contract, only the human side would lose its power, but in Shouta's case, the power balance would be lost and the enemy would get a lot of power. She says that if a demon god invades the land and eats Shouta, Rin would lose her powers and the demon god will become even stronger and probably stronger than her, and if that happens, the whole area will be chaotic. Suddenly, the doors that they entered through shut, and Lady Chia asks if they understand how serious the issue is now. She says that to prevent the destruction of the area, she has to do something, and Shouta asks if there is a way to remove the contract, and she says that she could do something if it was a normal contract, but that there is an ancient power behind his contract, so she cannot do anything. Suddenly, something comes out of the ground and holds Shouta in his place, which surprises Rin and him. She closes his mouth and says that she will not give him a chance to give orders to Rin and tells Rin to eat him to get her powers back. She says that taking a goddess's servant's strength is bad, and no matter what happened, she can punish him, and in order to pay her back, he has to give Rin his life and power. Rin says that she promised him that if she lost a contest, she would not eat him, but Lady Chia says that she has to eat him. Lady Chia says that she changed, and if it was her past self, she would not have stopped, but she is not doing anything right now. She gets ready to fight and says that she has to do it herself then. Lady Chia says that Rin changed, and if she cannot do it herself, she will do it for her. She says that she has the right to not eat his power, and after fighting together for so long, she might not be angry at him anymore, so she will do it for her, and even if she eliminates Shouta, her power will still return to her. Lady Chia uses her ability, and Shouta notices that it is even stronger than exorcism skills. She uses rocks to create weapons and aims it at Shouta and says to return the power he stole from Rin, but Rin saves him and destroys all the rocks. Lady Chia is surprised, and the rocks holding Shouta are also destroyed. She asks Rin what she is doing, and Shouta asks what she is doing and calls her a monstrous girl. Rin tells him to be quiet and tells Lady Chia that it is true that Shouta is weak, lazy, is not very smart, and offends others because of his ignorance, and she even thought he was an intruder once. Wow, not a lot of very good things. Why is this guy even alive? Rin says that Shouta is not a bad person even when he complains a lot, but he still does what needs to be done and even came to the mountain with her when she asked him to. Lady Chia asks if she has another solution, and Rin says that she does not know because she does not know a lot about the contract, so she has no solution right now. Lady Chia says that it is good to have different opinions, but that this is not enough for her and that there are a lot of lives at risk right now and cannot risk this whole area for a selfish reason, and tells Rin to move to the side. Rin begs her not to do this, but she just tells her to move to the side, but Rin does not. Suddenly, Rin gets thrown back and gets hurt, and Shouta shouts for her. Lady Chia says that she could have easily dodged that attack, and if she really thought she would not take her down. A rock cage appears around Lady Chia, and Shouta asks if she is not doing too much, because Rin is her servant, and Lady Chia says that she feels troubled when she sees someone using exorcism skills so badly because they were the one who taught the exorcist those skills. She easily breaks through the rock cage, and she shows him the true form of stone armor. She hits the ground with her stone armor hand, and Shouta tries to harden his stone armor, but it does nothing and the ground breaks apart. Rin grabs Shouta, and she tells him that he cannot take that attack easily. She tries to think of what she can do because she cannot talk to Lady Chia anymore, and Shouta says that they have to run away, which surprises Rin. Shouta asks if she has other ideas, and she says that she does not, and Shouta says that he cannot think of a way to defeat her either, and the only thing he is sure of is that they are going to have a bad time if they stay here. Shouta says that they should escape to a safe place first and can worry about the contract later, and Lady Chia asks what they are planning. Shouta says that they have to break the barrier if they want to leave, and Rin asks about the barrier. Shouta asks if she did not notice that the whole area was covered in a barrier the moment the doors shut, and Rin looks up at the sky. He says that a crystal ball appeared behind the goddess after the barrier was made, which might be the key to break the barrier. Rin looks at Lady Chia and notices a ball beside her, and Rin looks surprised and looks at Shouta, and he asks why she is looking at him like she does not believe him. He says that the difference in their strength is too high and directly fighting would be a bad idea, so they have to run away, and Rin forgot how smart he can be sometimes. Lady Chia asks if they are done with their meeting and gets ready to attack them again with her rocks. She throws them at Shouta, and he says that she is only targeting him, and Rin shows up behind Lady Chia and apologizes to her and tries to attack her, but she quickly puts up a rock shield. Rin chose to protect Shouta instead, and Lady Chia starts to attack her, but Shouta puts up a rock barrier to protect Rin. Rin keeps jumping around Lady Chia, and she says that it reminds her of the past and how weak she is compared to her. She tries to grab Rin, but she says that she is not the same person anymore and dodges it. Shouta uses a rock cage again to capture Lady Chia, and she says that this will not do anything, but Shouta says that he just had to distract her, and Rin appears behind her again to destroy the ball. She misses though, and Lady Chia figures out that they are trying to break the barrier and decides to guard against Rin since Shouta does not have the ability to break the ball. Suddenly, the ball breaks, which surprises Lady Chia, and she sees that Shouta threw something at it to break it. She sees that it is a demon-piercing spear, and even though he can only make one right now, he still managed to learn it in a small amount of time. Shouta falls down after using it like the weakling that he is, and Rin grabs him and runs away. Lady Chia is surprised because even though the situation was not good, he still managed to aim at the ball and break it. Rin sees Koga near them and lands in front of her, and Koga says that they really are here. Rin asks why she is here, and Koga holds up a paper in front of her, and she says that she wrote this even though it had Shouta's name on it. Koga says that it looks too suspicious, but the dragon knew where to look for Rin and says that she does not care what they are doing up here, but Shouta's grandfather told her that he should not bade gods. Rin and Shouta are surprised, and they look at Shouta because he should have known, but of course he does not. He has 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Koga says that she does not know why, but Shouta has something that affects gods on him. Suddenly, a ball surrounds Koga and the dragon, and Lady Chia brings them up to her and asks what they are going to do now. Once upon a time, there were 2 exorcists, where one was born with talent and the other was hardworking. One day, the talented exorcist removed the seals of an ancient demon god and wanted to get more recognition by defeating the ancient demon god and committed a sin. The ancient god shared their power to the exorcists and defeated the ancient demon god, but they had to pay a price for it. One lost their past and the other lost their future. In the mountains, Shouta shouts at Lady Chia to get Koga go because she has nothing to do with this, and Rin tells her to stop it. Lady Chia tells them not to be stupid, and even if she lets her go this time, there is no guarantee that future enemies will not try to hurt the ones around them. She says that Koga played a role in this incident, and she looks surprised. Lady Chia explains that she was the one who told Shouta to come to the mountain, and that none of this would have happened if it was not for her. Koga tells her to stop because how could a normal girl like her know that the mountain was being protected by someone else, and that she only told Shouta to solve the issue at the time. She says that Shouta is the one at fault because he does not know about the mountain and its keeper, and even fought with the keeper. Lady Chia agrees, and Rin says that it is all the idiot's fault, and Shouta asks why they sold him out that quickly. Lady Chia says that that is only true if Koga did not know about it before and by making Shouta come to the mountain. She hid her true plan and let Shouta get in contact with them. She says that she is smart but never expected the contract to activate, and Rin asks Koga what she really meant. Shouta asks if she was trying to get him eliminated by Rin when she told him to go to the mountain, and Koga tells him to have some confidence and that she knew he would never be eliminated like that. Lady Chia wonders what they should do next and says that they can escape, but she will solve this problem her way if they do. Shouta calls her shameless because she is using a bad method even though she is a goddess, and she says that she is giving them more options. She says that exorcism skills are passed down from the gods to the humans and that this combat skill is used against foreign enemies and allows a human and a god to join together and increase her own power. She says that if she has enough power to deal with the enemy that eats Shouta, she can ignore the contract, and Shout asks what this has to do with Koga. He says that she is just an ordinary person that does not even know how to use exorcism skills, and Lady Chia says that she is a normal human right now, but the way to increase her own power is still in place. Shouta asks Koga who she really is, and she says that there is no way that he would remember, and that she is just an ordinary person. Koga asks Lady Chia if one of them has to be eliminated for the other to live, and she agrees. Koga thinks about it and says that she is responsible for this incident and decides to be eliminated to let Shouta live. He tells her not to decide this herself and why he cannot remember what happened in the past, and Koga says that it is only natural, he does not remember, and that she owed him this whole time. Lady Chia asks if everything has been decided and uses her powers to separate the dragon and Koga in the cage. Rin shouts at her not to do this and that they are not bad people, and Lady Chia says that she cannot be naive like this and that the world is filled with sacrifices and not every incident can be solved by beating the bad guys. Even if they are not evil, the safety of this land is under threat and that they have committed sins against this land and she can punish them for it. She summons another barrier and Shouta tries to destroy it and shouts at her to let Koga go, and even Rin cannot break the barrier. Shouta shouts at Koga for coming up here and telling him that she wants to be eliminated instead of him is not something she can decide for herself. Koga says that she was wondering when this would happen and that the goddess said that she would spare them if she sacrifices herself, since compared to her, he would still have a future. In the past, Shouta is looking at his necklace and wonders if it reacted, and Koga says that he is being lazy again and not training his exorcism skills. He tells her to be quiet, and Koga says that he used to work hard and he says that he just wants to be lazy. He says that it is like his past disappeared and both his exorcism skills and knowledge are difficult for him, and if he really worked hard in the past, then it means his efforts went to waste. He lays back down and says that she would not understand because she is not an exorcist, and Koga says that she is just an ordinary person. Lady Chia puts Koga in the air and says that this is a return from her past sins, and Shouta notices that Koga's body is slowly disappearing. He tries to keep attacking the barrier, but it does nothing, and Shouta screams that he will not accept this. He remembers that she knows more about exorcism than him and led him around every time, and now she wants to pass away in his place. A voice asks Shouta if he wants more power again, and he keeps trying to attack the barrier. It says that he already lent it to him, and Shouta shouts at Lady Chia to stop, and suddenly, a laser destroys the barrier and the cage that Koga was in. The power of plot armor strikes again. Lady Chia and Rin are surprised at what happened, and Shouta catches Koga from falling down. Koga notices that Shouta has a dragon tail and ears now and tells him not to use this kind of power in front of the goddess. He asks who cares about that now and that he does not know what is happening to him right now, but he cannot just sit and do nothing. Koga remembers the past again, and Lady Chia shoots at Shouta. She says that it is the power of the ancient god, and who would have known that it was inside an ordinary human this whole time. She says that he is even more dangerous now and that two gods cannot exist in the same land since it will weaken the land's power and cause disasters. Shouta says that he will not run away again and that he will face his own problems now. Shouta and Lady Chia start their final battle. Rin shouts at Lady Chia, and Koga says that this is not something they can interfere anymore and all they can do is watch from the sides. Lady Chia says that she never thought that a human would be able to handle the power of a god and wants to test Shouta out. Shouta uses an exorcism skill, Iron Fortress, to create a cage around him, but Lady Chia disables it and attacks Shouta. She says that she is the dragon that controls the 5 elements of heaven and earth and that he will not win if he plans to use exorcism skills against her. She summons a stone golem, which surprises Koga and Rin, and she orders the stone golem to attack Shouta. The stone golem starts to attack, but Shouta dodges its punches and notices how fast it is even though it is so big. The stone golem gets a hit on Shouta, and he punches back and destroys it in one shot, but it starts to regenerate itself quickly. Lady Chia attacks Shouta as well with stone bullets, and Koba shouts at him to look behind him because the stone golem is trying to grab him. It hits the ground and Rin and Koga shouts for him. Suddenly, a laser hits Lady Chia, but she easily pushes it away and says that Shouta is finally getting used to his new powers. She says that it will not help him solve the problem right now and asks if he is planning on eliminating himself because that is one way to solve the problem. She says that once she is gone, no one will be able to go against him, and Rin shouts at him not to do that. Lady Chia asks Shouta if he thinks he can take care of this land and that he is still not a god and is only a human with extra powers. The land they are on will be destroyed if it is being taken care of by someone like him, and Lady Chia asks if he will sacrifice everyone for himself. She attacks him again with rock bullets, and Shouta dodges them and shows up behind her. He punches her in the back, but he hits a barrier instead and says that it is hard. Lady Chia summons some spikes and Shouta jumps up to dodge it, and she asks if this is the most power he has. She summons an electric dragon and says that she will not let him escape, and Rin shouts at her not to use that skill. Lady Chia uses the electric dragon at Shouta, and he says that he will not run away again and punches the dragon directly. Lady Chia looks surprised, and the dragon gets destroyed in one hit. Rin is surprised that Lady Chia fell down, and Shouta gets some wings on his back. Lady Chia notices that the wings look similar to someone and figures out that it is Master Kuro. He tells her that a land should not have two gods and that she is the god of this land, and promises not to use his powers here. He apologizes about the contract with Rin and does not have any way to solve the issue yet, but he says that he cannot pass away now because he has people he wants to protect no matter what. Shouta says that he will solve any problems that come to him and work his hardest to train himself well so that no one will have the chance to get this power, and that he will take responsibility and manage the mountains with Rin. He asks her if that is good enough, and Lady Chia smiles and says that he passes. Rin, Koga, and Shouta are all surprised, and Lady Chia says that she was testing him from the moment they first met and was testing whether he is capable of working with Rin or not. Shouta asks if she was not serious about eliminating him, and Lady Chia says that if they did not give any good alternatives, she would have had her way to deal with the contract, and that under normal circumstances, the safest and fastest way is to remove Shouta. She says that if they did not find a solution by themselves, then she would not help them out, but she could not let him become her servant as well because people are not like that. She says that if they were placed under a bad situation and her life was on the line, the human heart will show its true self, but she removed a lot of points because the first thing they did was to run away. They gained more power and had enough to defeat Lady Chia and never even thought about harming her at all, so that is why she passed them and made Shouta a divine servant and to work with Rin to maintain order on this land. Shouta laughs and says that he can finally relax now. At the school, he says that he was surprised that something big happened to them, and Rin says that they are lucky that Lady Chia was nice to them. Shouta says that this is all her fault for making him meet her, and Rin calls him stupid, and that it was necessary because if she did not do it, she would have eliminated them all. Carrie comes out of a bush and hugs Shouta and asks what they are talking about. She says that after thinking about it for a while, she realized that being with him is more interesting, and Rin says that she has no more money. Koga is talking to Lady Chia on the school roof and says that everything is back to normal now, and Lady Chia says that things will not end that easily though. Koga says that it looks like it is only going to get more noisy now, while Carrie tries to catch Shouta.